What is going on, everybody? It is Nidge here, just here to remind you that if you are enjoying the content, to leave a like, comment and subscribe to my channel to make sure you never miss a video. Also, if you do want to keep in touch with what is going on, make sure to follow me on Twitter. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you in the video.
Hello everybody, it is Nidge here, and I am back from my holiday, and I am back with some FIFA 15 action. It is the first episode of our Leicester City career mode that we're doing on here. You all voted for it a while back now, and this is going to be the first episode. I don't think there's going to be any matches today, but we're going to be having a look at the Leicester City team and all that kind of stuff. A few transfers, potential transfers, maybe even complete one or two today, hopefully. But yeah, we're just going to get the ball rolling. FIFA, of course, is not out yet, as I'm sure you're all aware, but you can actually get access to the trial version of it through on Xbox One as an app, which is actually called EA Access, and you pay, I think it's $3.99 a month, or you can pay for a yearly fee, and you get access to 6 hours of a game before it comes out, 5 or 6 days before it's released. So I've got 6 hours of this, going to do a bit of career mode, bit of Ultimate Team for you guys, and hopefully get the ball rolling on that. Leicester City, like I said, the team you voted for. Just going to have a look at some of the initial messages. I've literally just set it all up and we're going to get going now. Transfer information we don't need to know. Domestic Cup, they want us to get into the last 32, which is standard. And of course the league objective is to avoid relegation, as you'd expect. There's David Jones just introducing himself, and then this is a new feature actually. Our assistant manager saying that we should look at bringing in a centre back. We'll have a little look at the squad now, and I'll identify some places where I need strengthening. Then we'll come back and we'll look at potential transfers and that kind of thing, and try and improve the team. So you can see there the standard Leicester formation would appear to be the 4-4-2. Not the strongest looking team in the world, it has to be said. There's a lot of players in a 63 there. Jeffrey Schlupp, I think his name is it Jeffrey? Doesn't say anywhere. But yeah, he's normally a left back, and Konchesky's playing out in a minute, a player that I'm not very keen on actually. But we won't be playing this formation, I don't think. Key players for us that will be playing, and playing a big role in the season hopefully. Alua up front, I think is how you pronounce his name, is a player that I really like in real life. He reminds me a little bit of Grant Holt. He's not the slowest, but he's not the quickest either. And he's got a really good presence in the box. And 4-star weak foot as well is something that I always really enjoy. God, he's tall, isn't he? 6'2", did I just see? Yeah, 6'1". Key player as well, Esteban Cambiasso, the bought in real life, which I think is a really good signing. He's by far our best player, and he'll help bring a bit more experience to the team. And then the other one, the obvious one, Kasper Schmeichel, a really great goalkeeper. Not as young as I thought he was, actually, it has to be said. I was looking just, he's 27, I thought he was a bit younger than that, but nevertheless, still a really good goalkeeper, and hopefully we can keep our hold on to him, sorry. But like I said, they're currently set up at a 4-4-2. I'm going to have a play around with that now, and then I'll come back to you when I think we have like our strongest potential lineup, and then we'll look where we can improve it, guys. So I'll be back in a second. So guys, after a bit of tinkering and messing about with the team, like I said, I didn't want to play the 4-4-2. The 4-2-3-1 is a formation that I really like on most FIFAs. I always like having the option of 2 wingers, but having at least 1 CDM as well. And this formation is something that gives me that. And with Aloa's presence in the box, hopefully, this is a formation that can work for us. So this is the strongest 11 that I think we've currently got. So Kasper Schmeichel in goal. Jeffrey Schlupp isn't the strongest left back because Konchesky's better, but Konchesky's a player that I really don't rate in real life, and Schlupp's quite young as well, so going to go with him for now. But that's somewhere that we could definitely do with strengthening in our left back. This lad here, I'm not sure what his first name is. I don't know how you find out first names now. I mean, am I being daft? Does it say anywhere? Moore. Someone Moore? I don't know, but he's only 21, he's a 69 overall. He looks like he could be a really good player actually for us. So Moore there, one centre-back. Matthew Upson, a bit more experience, the other centre-back. I say a bit more experience, he's 35, so him playing alongside Moore, that could be quite good. Danny Simpson at right-back, of course, a player that's been around the Premiership for quite a long time now. Did quite well at Newcastle, then got that really bad injury, and I think he went to Queen's Park Rangers after that, and now he's at Leicester, so you've got a nice solid right-back in Danny Simpson. He's a player that I quite like. CDMs, Cambiasso and Drinkwater, really solid in that area of the pitch. Not sure if Drinkwater's too suited to be playing in that role, because he can only normally play centre mid, and he has only got medium, but hopefully with Esteban Cambiasso next to him, he'll be okay. Another really experienced player, and he's by far our best player as well. On the wings, Anthony Knockout, good little plays, 22 years old, he can play left or right side, he's got the 4-star skill moves. Not the slowest, not the quickest, but he's got decent dribbling and all that kind of stuff as well, and decent passing. On the other side, we have got Mark Albrighton, a player that they've recently bought in, and it's a very similar story to that side as well, actually. I don't think he's got the 4-star skill moves, but he's got a really good cross on him, this lad, and with the lower in the middle, that could be something we look towards a lot. Chris Wood is currently playing at cam/centre forward, but that is somewhere that we definitely need to improve. But We're going to have to sit with the lower up front, because like I said, it's a player that I really like, and I think we'll be rotating between him and Wood. Nugent we've got as well, who is a nice third striker to have. So we've got decent depth in strikers actually. 3 okay players there. None of them are outstanding, but 3 decent ones to rotate between. Going further down, Andy King's another hard player to rotate with. Same going for Vardy, again another decent striker. Mahrez, not bad again. Morgan 71, good cover for if Upson gets tired with him being 35. He might be filling in a lot more actually. Then down here in the reserves we've got Richard Delat, who's a decent right back again, good cover. Wasilewski, I think is how you say, he's a 71 overall, he's 34 as well, so he's got plenty of experience in his team. Talking of experience again, Paul Konchesky, a player that I don't like in real life as I mentioned, but he's okay for cover and he'll play in the cup games, that kind of thing. Gary Taylor-Fletcher, same story for him. Nick Powell at Cam, actually, I've only just realised we've got Nick Powell who's in on loan, so he'd perhaps play there instead of Chris Wood, sorry. But nevertheless, I do think that the positions that we really need to strengthen, Cam definitely, left back definitely, and I'm perhaps looking at another winger, because like I said, I'm happy with the CDMs, the centre of the park, but the wingers I think need to be a bit stronger. So that's the current lineup. I'm going to go away, try and do a bit of research into a couple of players that we can look at bringing in, and then I'll come back to you when I've got some targets, guys, so I'll be back in a second. So guys, after doing a bit of searching through Premiership players, because I was particularly after someone with Premiership experience, or someone who at least had played in the Premiership in the past, this is the shortlist I've come up with. There's a lot of players on there at the moment. I might narrow this down a little bit now as I go through it. We've got at left back, Asuakotu from Tottenham, Haidara at Newcastle, and Joel Ward from Crystal Palace. I'm going to remove Asuakotu actually, because I don't like him in real life, so we can end that and remove him from the shortlist. So that means it's just between those two. We could look to loan these people in, of course, as well. Right mid's interesting because you got Joel Campbell, who of course had the really good World Cup for Costa Rica, perhaps could look at on loan. Andros Townsend from Tottenham again could look at on loan, and Sousa from Liverpool once again we could look at on loan. Then on left mid you got Robbie Brady from Hull, Januzaj we could look at on loan, Scott Sinclair I thought was a pretty good shout. At Cam we got Jesse Lingard we could get on loan, Ravel Morrison, and yeah, I mean, all of them are reasonably young players apart from the odd one or two, so in fact no, they are all pretty young actually I think, but because of the financial position that we're in this season with only 8 million to spend, I think we are going to be looking at loaning, and that's what's going to help give us more strength in depth. If we can just bring in sort of 1 or 2 players then loan in another 3, that'll really help us, because as you saw in the budget we've only got £8 million and only 40k, which is not a lot at all when you look at what some of these people are on. I mean, Joel Campbell, what's he on for example? Can we look at this from here? Oh, you can't get to it from there. I think Joel Ward we've got. I mean, look at that, Joel Ward's on 30 grand and he's nothing special. He's a good player and a good solid player, but that's like 3/4 of our, but more than 3/4, it's 9/10 of our wage gone straight off the bat, which is mad. But we'll inquire about some of these. In fact, we'll inquire about the lot of them, and when they've responded, I'll show you what they say, guys, and see if we can get any good bargains here. So guys, I just thought I'd show you what we've done. We've basically put a loan offer in for Haidara, we've put a loan offer in for Campbell and Townsend, we've put a loan offer in for Scott Sinclair, and we've inquired about Ravel Morrison. I'm guessing it'll be too expensive for us, but let's just see what we get back from those now and see if we can get any luck, guys. So guys, the first message to come back is from West Ham, and as I expected, they want 14 million for Ravel Morrison, which is going to cross him off our shortlist straight away. Far more than we can afford, but it is actually nice to see that FIFA do take potential into account on the player evaluations now this year, perhaps because in the past you could get someone like Sterling or Morrison for dirt cheap on a sort of loan to buy scheme, and it was a really big flaw in the game. It looks like from that they might have stopped that being the case, which is nice to see. But yeah, Ravel Morrison definitely not want someone that we'll be able to afford, so we'll have to see if we can get anything better back from the others, guys. So guys, we had some pretty good news here. Man City rejected the offer to loan Scott Sinclair, which was a bit of a shame. However, Arsenal did accept for Joel Campbell, and Newcastle also accepted for Haidara, so I'm going to accept both of those, I think. So that's straight away getting 2 decent players in. Hopefully Haidara's above the 70 mark. I'm feeling he should be at least a 69, and Joel Campbell the same. He should be at least a sort of 71, 72. We're about to find out, but that's 2 solid signings, I think, straight off the bat, and adding a bit of depth to our squad as well. Oh, do the loan players not go straight in anymore? Do they have to decide if they're going to sign or not themselves? Let's see if they've appeared down the bottom. Oh no, they are here. Look, Campbell's 75, that's a really good one, and Haidara is 70, that's exactly what we needed. So straight away, Jeffrey Schlupp loses his place. 7 better. Haidara and Joel Campbell, who can play both sides, I think, but it's, oh, press the wrong button, I keep on doing that, it's really annoying because I'm used to FIFA 14. Joel Campbell, I think can play both, yeah, he can play both, so that's a really good luxury to have as well, and I think we're going to probably have to knock out and put Campbell that side. I do like to cut in actually, so I'll probably put him there and then put knockout back in. I do like to have the players that can cut inside, and Joel Campbell's one of those players that does it really well in real life. So straight away that shows the team is looking a lot better. The only other position I'd like to get now is a cam. Other than that, I actually think we're looking pretty decent setup wise. So if we can get a cam in this episode, guys, that's a fantastic start. Might squeeze one friendly in as well. We'll have to just wait and see how this goes, guys. So guys, as you saw in the last little bit of footage there, we managed to bring in a couple of players. Looking around at cams potentially now, and Chris David of Fulham in the Championship is someone that I think can develop into a good player on FIFA in the past. He has done anyway, I think. Thomas Shazicki is a good player that I like around life. He's someone that I've just inquired about to see how much Arsenal would want for him. And also, Wilson Palacios is on the transfer list for 600k. Now, in the past, he's always been in those low to mid 70s. I don't know if he will be now because he has got a bit older, obviously, but he's still only 29, and he might be worth looking at. Sorry, for a bit of cover for just £600,000. We could then perhaps even think about pushing Danny Drinkwater further forward, but I'll have to see what comes of the two first. But yeah, just thought I'd let you know what we were looking at, guys. So guys, Arsenal wanted £11 million for Thomas Rosicky, which is not something that I'm willing to pay. I'm actually struggling to think of a cam we can bring in actually, so I'm going to end the episode around this area now, and if you've got any recommendations of people you think we could bring in that cam position, I'm looking for someone that's just low to mid 70s. I mean, Nick Powell's probably going to be decent for us as well because he's young and he's on loan, but I was after someone a bit more experienced. So if you can think of someone, put them down in the comments. You can see there we've got 4.8 million to work with still and 40,000 wage budget, which isn't too shabby at all. So like I said, if you can think of anyone in the comments, just drop it down below and I'll look into them. But I hope you enjoyed this first episode. It's almost going to be like episode 0.5, like a quick introduction to the team, a couple of the transfers, but no games yet. So yeah. There will be Ultimate Team coming as well. Like I say, if you do want to play FIFA 15 early, you can get it on the Xbox One through the EA Access Vault system that they've got going on there, but it's called a trial where you get to play it for 6 hours basically before it comes out, and you can get it up to 5 or 6 hours earlier. I think I mentioned it earlier, but there we go, I've mentioned it again anyway. But thumbs up for the new Leicester career mode and FIFA 15, and I shall see you next time in the next episode, which will be the first proper episode, and we'll start getting the friendlies into that one, and a bit more into the usual rhythm. Like I said, today was more of just an introduction into the series and that kind of thing. So hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll speak to you next time. Nidge out.